Hi there, it's me, the gummy bear loving Smash player named Luke Brohyman. Yes, I play the game, even though I only posted one video of me actually playing the game. And,
I just wish they put Crocs on his feet.
did I record this with a potato? Anyway, the Fighters Pass for Smash Bros. Ultimate is great. Okay, mostly good. Yeah, the Fighters Pass is kind of flawed. When there's so few ones that are actually good, buried under the never-ending anime sword fighters stealing slots from a certain bandicoot. It's at a point where people are more excited for a costume than the actual thing. But how do they hold up against each other? Well, specifically, how do the good characters hold up against each other, and how do the lame characters hold up against each other? But before that, we gotta lay down on how we're going to rank them. I'm ranking them based on the character, the reveal, the moveset, and the content, and I will give an overall score from 1 to 10 out of 10. And then I'll put them on a ranking chart and give them a final verdict for where I think they belong. Oh, and one more thing. Piranha Plant is excluded from this ranking. While yes, he is technically a DLC fighter, he is not a Fighters Pass character. But even then, he has no content, so it'd be unfair to put him up against any of the other characters that do have content. Wait, I have just one more thing to say. The score will be ranked based on how overall good or bad they are, but the ranking chart will be ranked based on their overall positive enjoyment. So a character with a lower score might be ranked higher than a character whose score is higher than they are, because a worse character is better than a boring character. Anyway, now that we laid out the rules, it's time to see who's the best. Who's the best Fighters Pass character? Joker. No, not that Joker.
It's the police, ma'am. Your son's been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead.
It's the Joker that I have exactly 0 experiences with before Smash. No, seriously, I actually didn't know anything about this character before Smash. For a few that I didn't know all too well, I did know them by name and design, by the company that made them, or by the name of their game. But Joker was the only one that I didn't know anything about. Not about the character, the game, or by the company that made him. I knew literally nothing about him. With that said, I really like him. Most people were more excited about him than I was, probably because they knew at least one thing about anything he's related to. He has a cool moveset that does kinda steal from a few characters, which isn't as bad as other characters I'm about to talk about. His combos are cool, his gimmick is cool, and really overpowered. His stage is visually one of the best, the victory screens are the best, the Final Smash is also the best. It also helps the fact that the creator was a fan of Persona 5, as well as another character from another thing we are about to talk about. Even the menu is based off Persona 5's menu. Arsene gives Joker one of the best back airs in the game, as well as a counter. Now I'm sad. Killer 20 with his drag down combos? Now I'm happy again. He also has Ivysaur's recovery, but it's much better in every way. But not quite the best tether up B. Also, he has Stage Builder, which everyone begged for when they found out that Smash Tour was no longer a game mode in Smash. This Stage Builder is way better than the Wii U version. There's no contest! So, a fun moveset, amazing content, amazing visuals, and a better stage builder than Wii U. Though I gotta be the one to say that the gap between his release next to Piranha Plant and Hero was terrible. Like, Piranha Plant was released a month before the Nintendo Direct that only showed Joker's back. Then a month later when he had a special presentation that is strangely the only one that isn't like the other Sakurai Presents videos. Then one day after, he gets released on an update that was for some reason a pain to download. Then we waited even longer for another Smash fighter. The gap between the reveals was so bad that they revealed 2 Smash fighters at E3. And looking back, it made no sense because it was not 2020, And in that year, they had a good release schedule, especially with Steve and Sephiroth. Anyway, Joker gets a 7 out of 10. He's pretty good to start out the Fighters Pass with, even though Crash Bandicoot still hasn't been announced. Hero. I hate his name. It's honestly one of the worst names in Smash history, and they didn't give Erdrick his name. With that said, he's alright. I do think the randomness is kinda dumb, and is a massive middle finger to the competitive scene. You either get the worst move in the entire game, or you get the best move in the entire game. The second best. His normal moves even has some randomness to it. You either have a decent forward smash, or you have the best forward smash in the game. And down B is basically a D&D campaign. And I'm mostly okay with it. I do think the attention could have been more focused on his terrible basic attacks than rolling a dice to kill at 0. He does have good specials, but all of his basic attacks are some of the worst in the game. They all come out really slow, and the ones that don't take as long as Side Smash all deal no damage. But he did have more content than Final Fantasy at the time. And this gerbil needs to be his own fighter, but I'd Crash Bandicoot first. Now to rank him. I've got my random number generator, and it's a 6. So Hero gets a 6 out of 10. Not quite as good as Joker, but he's still a decent fighter, and I hope the next is at least just as good. Banjo and Kazooie. Ah yes, Banjo and Kazooie. The two people have been requesting for as long as Ridley. Isn't it surprising that the two Microsoft characters were the only ones where I was pleasantly happy about the decision to add them? What can I say other than they're Banjo and Kazooie? I never played their original games, especially that abomination. It's good that they finally returned to the spotlight, and it's about time we get a new Banjo and Kazooie game. A good Banjo and Kazooie game. The reveal trailer is very misleading, as it's the exact same as the K. Rool trailer. The only difference is that it has Banjo and Kazooie, and K. Rool is just living with his enemies. Did they somehow resolve their issues when they punched an explosion at each other? Also, Duck Hunt Duo does what DDD does, and it kinda works for them. The stage is unique and interesting, even if it might give me motion sickness when it spins, and the remixes are fun to listen to. But this fighter isn't perfect. Far from it, in fact, because the moveset sucks. Like, why did they give Banjo Mario's forward air? But they also made it worse since it doesn't spike. Banjo has also been stealing more of Mario's moves, like the So Long Gay Bowser, and has been putting his up air on some DLC characters after that and does them worse. And there are a few other moves that obviously come from other characters that I'm listing right now. I mean, it's not as bad as pyromethra. At least they have moves of their own, and they at least reference some attacks in their own game, unlike those two. And also their moveset isn't fun at all, and it sucks to fight against! Like, just spam this terrible neutral special because it's a projectile. Can I just throw my butt grenade at you that confirms it to everything? Give me a sec, I need to take 80 years to recover from anywhere off stage. Love this invincible side B that can only be used 5 times a stock? It sucks, because you get hit when you least expect it, and you can't use it for yourself because of how slow and punishable it is. And it's not even that great. It's slow and punishable, like I said earlier. Blocking it allows you to punish hard, and it can't be confirmed into except for the butt grenade and down throw. But the down throw is terrible. I think you can guess why. In short, it's just a waste of a feather because side smash is always better in that situation. And downer is another stupid stolen fall. It makes more sense than some other terrible character, but that doesn't stop it from being a terrible move. 4 out of 10. Terry. Who is he? No one knows. I certainly didn't. I only knew the company by name, and maybe one game they might have made. So yeah, no one knows who Ken with a hat is. And I honestly think he's better because of that. People have complained that people don't know who he is, and like, isn't that the point of Smash? You like Earthbound, or at least know what Earthbound is? Thanks Smash Bros for that. Know what Fire Emblem is? Thanks Smash Bros for that. For the 8th time. Don't know what Kid Icarus is? Now you do, thanks to Smash Bros. Smash Bros was designed to introduce you to new franchises. And yes, I would have preferred Crash Bandicoot, or at the very least Porky from Earthbound, but I still like what Smash has done here, and I think they did it really well. And it does make sense since Sakurai was a big fan of his games when he was younger, so it's a dream come true to put your childhood in your game so they can punch Mario in the face.
In the face.
But then we get to his moveset and holy shit, is it awesome! I mean, I don't really get to analyze what makes this moveset perfect for him, because there are no moveset videos on him, and I don't feel like getting the game just to see. But with the nuclear launch codes for his super special moves, and judging by how fighting games have nuclear launch codes just to do a super Hadouken, I can say for sure that this is most likely the perfect moveset for him. But it's not just a super cool moveset, it's also a really fun moveset. Coming from someone who just figured out how to do Asuka's shoulder bash move in Tekken 7, this moveset is really, really fun. From the jab that can cancel into his power dunk, to up-tilting them into power geyser. Also, his Egyptian hieroglyphic inputs aren't that hard actually. Like, just do this with the joystick and press A. Anyway, he's a good character for new and pro players. He has a lot of strong normals that can make him a strong character, but can be even stronger in the hands of a pro player. Or fighting game players. If you took the time to master him, then you can learn his combos that kill at 5%, or you could just sit back and jab power dunk them all day long. And we haven't gotten to the content and it just gets better and better. With so much music to listen to, his stage is the best casual stage in the whole game, and that stage includes multiple characters from his own game and other SNK properties. Though no my, unfortunately.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's for good boys and girls.
Even Sakurai was surprised by how much was put into this. He obviously gave a lot of shits when making this, and Sakurai needed to put something of quality before making the next two, which, Terry gets a 9 out of 10. With how good he was, it kinda hurts because it just makes the next two even worse by comparison, and in general. Wait, I'm kinda spoiling the next one. Bilith. Before I talk about Bilith, I have to say that she is not a bad character. Yes, she's another anime sword fighter, and yes, she's another Fire Emblem character, but that does not make her a terrible character, so don't expect me to bash on Bilith. With that said, she's not good. Even though at the beginning I said that being a Fire Emblem sword character isn't automatically something we should hate this character for, it's still a negative quality for this character. The reveal trailer sucks. It was automatically terrible in the first frame of it. It's basically a worse version of Pyromethra's trailer, and that trailer was already really bad. It's like they forgot they were making this for a Smash presentation, because unlike Pyromethra's trailer, they were doing this in a direct instead of a Smash presentation. So it doesn't automatically tell us who the character is for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Even though I think they should have done an entirely different trailer, or at the very least change the opening, because this trailer still really sucks. But Bilith's trailer in the first few seconds just wastes time for no reason. But it doesn't get better later on. We get generic gameplay for barely even 10 seconds, but it did showcase the cool up B. And then we get back to the annoying Sothis character, and she just makes a joke about there being too many sword fighters in the game. Like, thank you for being self-aware that you put too many sword fighters in your game. Too bad that doesn't change the fact that you still feed into your sword fetish. Yeah, you can keep telling us that it's not up to you. We all know that's a load of crap. Then for some reason, Bilith changes to a female. I have no idea why that happened with no rhyme or reason in the trailer. usually they put the female alt in the gameplay section, or they tell you it's in the game after the trailer. But thankfully I don't have to look at male Byleth's ugly head for the entirety of the trailer. Then Byleth gets more weapons, and for some reason they do the splash screen again. Why? It's just a hotter version of Byleth! There is practically no differences between them gameplay-wise, and the text is god-f***ing awful! There's more gameplay, then we get the worst cinematic Final Smash in Smash history, and then this show is over. Can I mention that they didn't show any other Smash characters in this trailer outside of gameplay? Because we need to make this terrible trailer even more terrible. At least the Pyromethra trailer had characters outside of gameplay, even if they were less than pleasing to the eye. You might be asking why I talked about the trailer first. The reason being, I just need to get the worst part about this fighter out of the way, so that I can talk about the less bad stuff without the terrible trailer haunting me as I go along. The moveset is not very good. They did the weapon thing with Byleth essentially the same as they did with Steve and his tools, even though Steve came after Byleth. I feel like Byleth's was done in such a lame way. The sword is for most of the attacks, which is fun to see more sword people doing more sword attacks. The bow is for the neutral attacks, the spear is for the side attacks, and the axe is for the down attacks. This essentially continues the trend of generic sword fighters in Smash being generic, though in this case I'd say this is more a generic weapon user being generic. Byleth is more unique than all other Fire Emblem characters, Robin excluded, but she still doesn't have an identity and doesn't feel unique by ultimate standards. She doesn't really have any gimmicks or anything to make her feel like an interesting character, though she has more of an identity than Pyromethra. At least she has moves of her own. The specials are the best part about this character. Neutral special is fun, but the fully charged version is practically useless. Side B sucks! Moving on. The up B found a way to make tether up Bs actually good, because this is her best special move and possibly her best move. It can cling onto walls, grab opponents to combo off of them or kill them off stage, and goes further than all other tether up Bs. So yeah, this made the tether up Bs acceptable in my eyes. Until a terrible character right after undoes all the positivity I had left for tether up Bs. This is why we can't have nice things. And finally, the down special is also fun, but is also practically useless. But why does the super armor frame suck ass? Make it last for the entire duration of the move. The final smash, like I said earlier, is the worst cinematic final smash in the game. It's just a boring whip attack with the Sothis character in the background, like she's actually important. She's not. Though this is a better Final Smash than Mario's. Just give him a new Final Smash already. The alts are half good. We have the female version of Byleth, which is infinitely better than the male version. 3 of the alts are references to the house leaders in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and the rest are actually worse than all of Cloud's alts combined. 2 of them are just a green-haired version of the exact same character, even though this is already referenced in the Final Smash. And the other one is based on Sothis. And can you f*** off with the Sothis character? She is not important at all. And the last thing I need to say is, why the f*** did you end Fighters Pass 1 with Byleth when we got Joker, Banjo and Kazooie, and Terry? It feels like a massive step down in every way when the last one doesn't come close to the quality of any of them, including Hero. Byleth gets a 3 out of 10. The best thing I can say is that the female Byleth is extremely attractive. Also, the uppie is great. I just hope it doesn't get any worse than it already is. Steve. Fun fact, when I was waiting for Crash Bandicoot to be revealed for this presentation, well, it wasn't actually a presentation, it was a reveal, I was watching the Lego Movie. Coincidence? I think maybe. But yeah, prepare for me to praise the best DLC character in Smash history. What to say about Steve other than he is basically perfect? Well, not perfect, just perfect enough to be better than whatever this is. They could have used more things from his source material like the bow or the trident. I think up smash is cool, but I think the TNT is much better for his up smash. But my personal idea is planting a tree. I like how the tools were handled. The swords are used for his jab, side tilt, neutral air, side smash, short hop forward and back air, and ledge and get up attacks. Pickaxe is used for dash attack and forward and back air, and the axe is for the up tilt and up air. But I think there's some potential that there could have been done with these tools. You can switch between the different tools with the down special, which would be rebranded as inventory. But if you really wanted to keep the TNT, then you could just go to the crafting table to change your tools. But about those tools, the sword deals the most damage, the axe has the highest launching power but is the slowest, the pickaxe is stronger at the tip of the pick and allows forward air to spike, the shovel is a mix between the axe and the pickaxe except it won't make forward air spike, the hoe is similar to the pickaxe, it's the fastest but the weakest tool. The bow is completely different to the others. The bow can fire an arrow in the appropriate direction and can be charged up to go further and be stronger. The trident has the most range, is very strong at the tip, and is overall the strongest weapon in both damage and kill power, and if you hold the button, it can be thrown. And if you don't have any tools, then you'll just punch. It will have similar range as the tools, but is the weakest. In fact, let him start out with just his fists, and then you can just mine away and get those tools, just like in Minecraft. Also, I hate how short Steve is. He is not supposed to be the same height as Mario. But all of those are just nitpicks for a character so close to perfection. Him mining for materials for the grounded neutral special is just perfect, and is way better than the experience thing I was thinking for Steve. The building blocks is well handled, and it honestly makes him the Brawl Meta Knight for Smash Ultimate. I love the lava bucket down smash way more than the ideas I've heard from other people. The jab is something I never even considered and honestly kinda feel bad for not thinking about. The flint and steel down tilt is basically perfect, but this move is a much more annoying PK fire and using it off stage is pure evil, but I love it. The whole material gimmick is way better than the experience gimmick I thought of for Steve. Having a crafting table on stage is honestly something I didn't think about, and is better than putting it as the down B. But I don't like how you can attack it. It affects the match too much. The grab is of course the fishing rod, but I mean, who didn't expect it to be the fishing rod? And the throws are amazing, except back throw. That one sucks. The down air is amazing, and is the best stolen fall in the game because it did the one thing I wanted from stolen falls. Being able to jump out of them. And it's even better than what I wanted! The only downside is that it doesn't spike, but forward air fills in that role. And also it kills super early. Take that, Ridley down air! Also, this down air is the same idea that some people have suggested, which makes me wonder if Sakurai watches moveset videos online. The minecart is really awesome. You basically do what they did in that Wallace and Gromit short, and you also get to trap people in it, which is evil, but I love it. The elytra is handled perfectly. It feels true to the game, and it also doesn't make you fly around Hyrule Temple. The TNT is fine, but I forget it exists. The animations look amazing despite being so minimal. Who would have thought that limited limb movements would work so well with Steve? And the final smash! Should have literally been anything else. I mean, this is the most boring one they could have picked. Another fun fact. For the longest time I thought Steve was going to be a Mii costume. I mean, I have the concept for it. But I'm glad I was wrong, because if I was right, then we wouldn't have gotten the greatest gift from greatness since Spider-Verse. 10 out of 10. And I still think it should have been correct. Sephiroth. Since I wasn't able to finish my post-release video on Sephiroth, I'll just put the important stuff I said in the script into here instead. This fighter came out super early, which was surprising, and it was thanks to this. I like it. Except for one thing. There. Also, it turns out that it doesn't actually end in the 22nd. It's just when you update it, the thing ends. Also, this balance patch sucks, like the previous one. Anyway, he is more fun to play than Banjo and that dumpster fire Min Min. His most defining trait is range, and what is with Sakurai and range? These three characters is basically just range, and they are mostly terrible. Sephiroth is really tall, but he is also the same weight as Kirby, so he is easy to hit and also dies super early. Sound familiar? At least he doesn't have that stupid tail. Why of all other characters besides Shulk does Sephiroth get a shirtless ult, but not Mario, Link, or Ryu? Speaking of ults, there is one thing with Sephiroth that continued from Cloud. Bland ults. But at least Sephiroth has neutral B and side B. Yeah, those are my favorite moves from him. But about his other moves? Range and range. And thank goodness that this wasn't the animations for his up tilt. Though he has a sliding down tilt again, which is disappointing, but is understandable, unlike some other characters. The aerials are also range, but down air is another stolen fall, which you all know by now I hate. It's more understandable than some other characters, since this is how he kills Aerith, and not including this move would not make sense. Which honestly kinda makes it worse because we have to be stuck with this move. But since we can't get rid of it, I guess I can understand. Unlike some other characters. But at least it's somewhat usable. Not good, but usable. But about the rest of the aerials? I think neutral air is good, but it also has limited range, which I never thought I would say about Sephiroth. Forward air is pretty good, and it attaches to walls. Does anyone actually care? It's barely even different with this. It's only usable in like 1 out of a million situations. Back air is slower and it doesn't attach to walls. Aside from that, this is the better version of the move. He has a mix between Joker's Arsene and Terry's Go Meter, except he doesn't get an invincible recovery and he doesn't gain super special moves. He already has that. They also gave Cloud a new Final Smash, specifically for the Advent Children ult. So now there's no excuse for not giving Mario a new Final Smash. But then we get to the trailer and it's honestly just the best. I didn't talk about it that much in my Sephiroth video or any other video after that, because I just wanted to get the stuff that I wasn't happy with. But I don't think that's very fair, because this trailer deserved more attention for how amazing it actually is. It's just such a joy seeing all these characters fighting against Galim, and then they have to face Sephiroth. This is better than the Pyromethra trailer by a landslide. It's not even close. I'm increasing my ranking for Sephiroth from last time because I didn't give him enough credit for the good stuff. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, it's not by much, but it's a miracle for this kind of character to get a 6.5. And there is no way in hell that the next one, or should I say, next two, will even get that score. Okay, I think I should stop bashing on Pyromethra throughout this video and actually talk about them. But before that, rip Gino, and Sora. But I mean, what chance did he have in the first place? Pyromethra. Remember in my video of these 2-3 months ago when I said this? Yeah, they might as well be echoes, as they look like they play the exact same. Turns out I was wrong. Pyra is stronger with great edge guarding and is great at getting off ledge, while Mithra is just Sheik with a sword and a bad recovery. And just like Sheik, she is bad. Like, really bad. All of her moves deal no damage, she can't kill unless you use up B or side B off stage, which both kill you, when you could just up B once with Pyra and they're dead at 60. The damage output from combos isn't even great, because Pyra can get you to higher percents by hitting you with 2 moves or fully charged neutral B. Neutral special is just a Burrowing Blade special from Mii's Sword Fighter, but worse in every way, and is especially overshadowed by Pyro's neutral B. Side B is also a worse version of another sword character, specifically Sephiroth's Octaslash. It's weak, can only move forwards, and the faster speed doesn't help since Sephiroth can use the lame up B for more safety. Up B is fine, but is also overshadowed by Pyro in every way. And also the recovery on this is terrible! It goes more distance than Pyro's up B, but it still goes nowhere, and is much slower considering this is meant to be the faster character. There is no reason to use Mithra over Pyro. Yeah, Mithra is faster, but when she is this weak, and gets comboed because of her fast fall speed, you should just hit them with a neutral B and they die. Down B is the only useful special for Mithra. You know why? Because it turns you into a better character. That's right, screw this character. She honestly makes Pyro worse as a character. I would have literally been happier if they had just didn't include Mithra and just let Pyro kill early with up B. Did I mention that up B is broken? Because it is. Kinda. This does travel a high vertical distance, but the horizontal distance makes Chrom's recovery look like K-Rules. It doesn't spike at ledge, and kill at 0 like me brawlers. Sad face. But killing at 60? Hell yeah! But I prefer killing at 0. Though nearly every normal attack Pyro has are all actually garbage. In fact, both of these characters' normal attacks are all trash, but in the opposite way. Pyro's are all as slow as Link's dash attack, and Mithra's are just like hitting you with a pool noodle. But Pyro has good specials, while Mithra has worse specials than some low-tier characters. But even then, I forgot about these two super quickly, and there is nothing to recommend with these two, Mithra specifically. My ranking on my video of those two is essentially the same as it was, 5 out of 10. Now that I finished talking about all these characters, now let's see how they hold up against each other. In last place is Min Min, but you might be saying, but you didn't even review her. That's because I want to spare my brain cells from being fried into nothingness another time. Because I have a whole video planned. Because she sucks. She's the absolute worst in every possible way. Just a bad reveal, bad character, bad moveset, bad everything. The only thing she does better than all other DLC characters is sucking the most. This is so bad, I don't even think Springman could have saved this. I mean, come on, you have made better than this. We should expect anything that isn't 100% garbage. I hope this character chokes on a noodle, gets flattened by a steamroller, thrown in a dumpster, and gets eaten by a flock of bin chickens. Fuck you. Next is Bilith. People won't be surprised by this being so low. Bilith is just another Fire Emblem sword fighter. Ending Fighters Pass 1 with Bilith was an awful decision. She's not even that fun, she's just a super lame character. The only good thing I can say about her is that she isn't bad, unlike some other abomination. And specials are great, except Sides B. Then there's Pyro and Mithra. Yeah, if you watch my video on those two, you'll know exactly how I feel about their inclusion. Generic sword attacks for every single one of their moves. I mean, name all the moves that are original. I will be waiting here. And the trailer is also poo-doo. By the way, I'm ranking these two in the same category because they're considered the same character in the Fighters Pass, and they're canonically the same person. But if I counted these two separately, Pyro would stay in the same place, and Mithra will take Byleth's spot in the ranking. That's right, fuck this character. Then I'm gonna surprise everyone with this. Banjo and Kazooie. Yes, Banjo was a great choice for this Fighters Pass, but he falls low due to low content, a mediocre trailer, and a bad moveset. It's not a terrible moveset, but the amount of moves that are similar and the lamest playstyle out of most of the fighters in Smash. Yeah, this character kinda blows, but isn't terrible, so that's a plus. Next is Hiro. The name sucks and the moveset is weird, but he's pretty fun to just kill at 0 with, in many, many ways. The moves are slow, keeping him from being a high tier character, but if you only win with luck, then skill, then he is for you. Then Sephiroth, the better Square Enix fighter who can also kill at 0, though more consistently. And we have actual Final Fantasy content. In my opinion, he is the best not good character in Smash. Also, the trailer slaps. Next is Joker. Despite knowing nothing about him at the time, I was hyped for this, and I was excited for Stage Builder so he can draw, Yeah, this was a mistake. But yeah, he had a decent moveset that is pretty fun to play, but he is carried by the fact that he brought Stage Builder with him! Then in second we have Terry. Despite only knowing the company that made him, despite not really caring, despite the reveal being kinda mediocre, he is honestly one of the best DLC characters in this game. He has an incredibly fun and unique moveset that's easy to get a feel for thanks to his strong basic attacks, and can be really powerful when you learn how to do his Go meter specials, and to their fullest potential, and has so much content. The amount of content in this is insane. Terry is also a love letter to SNK with its multiple cameos in his stage. Speaking of, it kicks f***ing ass. And first will not surprise you, Steve. The only thing Terry does better than Steve is content. Everything else, Steve has the best moveset, is the best choice for a slot, the best character. It's like they recognize their embarrassment min and decide not to make the same mistake again. Steve is the best. The only character to compete with him for the best DLC fighter is Crash Bandicoot. Anyway, that was my video. Subscribe by pressing the red button that says subscribe. I will see you when Crash gets announced, and I need to go back to playing Miitopia. Okay, goodbye!